If you're watching this, you probably think I'm some bitter guy getting revenge on his cheating wife. You're right, but not bitter, just efficient. My name's Matt, 42, systems engineer, married to Claire for 9 years. We lived in what people now call a smart home. Alexa-controlled lights, smart locks, voice-activated appliances, cloud-synced everything. You name it, I built it. Claire loved it when I first set it up. Feels like living in the future, she'd gush. Right. Until the future bit her in the butt. It started simple. One of those gut-feeling things you can't quite pin down. I'd come back from business trips. I do consulting work for cybersecurity firms, lots of travel, and the house just felt wrong. I'd walk in, and the living room lights would be set to this weird dim red I'd never used. The air would smell faintly like perfume I didn't recognize. And sometimes, only sometimes, Claire's phone would light up with messages she'd quickly swipe away. But I didn't say anything. Not yet. Suspicion without proof is just paranoia. Then one Thursday, I got home early from a trip. Unplanned. The client canceled last minute, so I caught the first flight back. Landed at 4 p.m., was home by 5. Claire was at yoga. Sure. Except Alexa betrayed her. See, I have a hobby most people would call obsessive. I log all our smart home data. Voice commands, lock activity, thermostat changes, all stored neatly in the cloud. Part tech geek, part habit. I like knowing what happens under my roof. While waiting for Claire, I started browsing through the logs. Harmless curiosity at first. That's when I saw it. 3:17 p.m., Alexa command. Play romantic dinner playlist. We don't have a romantic dinner playlist. Not one I created, anyway. Odd. 3:19 p.m., Alexa command. Set dining room lights to 20%. 3:20 p.m., Alexa command. Order condoms. 3:21 p.m., smart lock. Front door unlocked. Guest code used. I stared at the screen. Guest code? We had a few. One for her mom, one for the dog walker, one generic cleaning code Claire insisted we keep active. That one. By now, my gut wasn't just talking, it was screaming. I dug deeper. Amazon stores everything Alexa hears if you let it. I had, again, habit. I opened the voice archive. Playback. Female voice. Claire. Whispering. Alexa, play romantic dinner playlist. Next clip. Male voice. Unfamiliar. Chuckling. Babe, you sure about this? Next clip. Claire. Low and breathy. She'll hurry. He's supposed to be gone all day. I stopped breathing for a second. I rewound. Played it again. Same voices. Same tone. Then I pulled the security cam feeds. I'd installed discrete cams in common areas. Again, habit. Not for spying on Claire. For peace of mind when we traveled. Pulled the 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. window. There they were. Claire and a man I recognized instantly. Daniel. Her best friend Rachel's husband. I'd had beers with him. Played poker. Trusted him. They kissed in the kitchen. Fumbled their way to the couch. Claire pulled his jacket off. His hands went to her waist. I stopped the footage. Not because I couldn't watch, because I didn't need to. I had enough. Now here's where most guys screw up. They confront. Yell. Demand answers. Me? I started editing. See, I work in systems, but I tinker in video on the side. Made little highlight reels for fun. Now I was making one for keeps. I stitched together the best moments. Alexa's romantic dinner playlist command. The whispered conversation. Smart lock logs popping on screen with timestamps. Video clips synced perfectly. I overlaid the audio of Claire whispering, "Shoo, hurry. He's supposed to be gone all day," with the footage of her wrapping her arms around Daniel. It was art. Then I rendered it into a sleek 3-minute video. Title screen. Anniversary Memories, a look back. Why that title? Because our 10th anniversary party was in 2 days. Big event. Family. Friends. Claire had been planning it for months. She had no idea I'd be providing the main entertainment. 2 days later, I played it cool. Smiled. Helped hang streamers. Toasted our love with champagne. Pretended everything was perfect. Claire? Glowing. Clueless. Matt, you're so calm these days, she said. Travel suits you. Guess it does, I replied. You've been keeping busy too, I see. She blinked, didn't catch the tone. Then came the moment. Dinner wrapped. The projector was set up. Claire had arranged a slideshow of memories to play for the guests. I offered to cue it up. Actually, I said, voice warm. I made a little video of my own. Thought it'd be a nice surprise. Oh my God, really? You're so sweet. Claire gushed. I smiled. It'll be memorable. I cued the video. The opening played innocently. Shots of us from vacations, anniversaries past. People smiled. Claire beamed. Then the screen flickered. Cut to the Alexa voice clips. Alexa, play romantic dinner playlist. A ripple went through the crowd. Then the smart lock log appeared. Guest code activated. 3:21 p.m. Then the voices. Babe, you sure about this? She'll hurry. He's supposed to be gone all day. And finally, the footage. Claire and Daniel. Embracing. Kissing. Undressing. The room went silent. I sat back, sipping my wine, eyes on Claire. She went pale. Shot up from her seat. Matt. Stop it. Turn it off. I stayed seated. Too late, babe. Everyone deserves to see the real you. Gasps. Chair scraping. Rachel, Daniel's wife, screamed. You bastard, she shrieked at Daniel. Slapped him across the face. Claire ran to the projector, fumbling to unplug it. Too late. The damage was done. I stood. Well, happy anniversary, everyone. Consider this my final toast. I left to the sound of shouting and tears. No confrontation. No fight. Just one simple truth, played for all to see. And the best part? That YouTube link, the private one I'd uploaded the video to, had already been sent to every family member before dinner. Claire couldn't bury it if she tried. But the real twist? She wasn't the only one cheating. You'd think the fun ended at the anniversary party. Claire probably thought so, too. That was her first mistake. Her second mistake? Thinking I'd stop at humiliating her in public. No. See, the anniversary party was just the overture. The public trailer. The real game was about what came next. The aftershocks. The fallout. And, of course, the final twist. The party ended in chaos. I walked out calmly, sipping the last of my champagne. Behind me, screaming. Rachel sobbing. Daniel trying to grab his jacket while dodging a hailstorm of curses and flying forks. Claire collapsed on the floor, wailing like a toddler who just lost their toy. But I wasn't angry anymore. Anger was old news. I was something better, detached. I'd spent weeks preparing this move, ever since that first Alexa voice log tipped me off. Every edit, every timestamp, every frame was calculated for maximum impact. Now I was watching the dominoes fall. I didn't go home that night. Didn't need to. I'd already packed a bag and booked a suite at a nearby hotel. Room 1503. Nice view. Great bourbon at the lobby bar. I sat in that bar with my laptop open, watching the YouTube analytics tick up. 1 view. 5 views. 20. By midnight, the video had over 200 views. Private link, meaning only those I'd emailed it to were watching. Family. Close friends. Colleagues. People Claire cared about impressing. It was like setting a bomb and watching the shockwave ripple out. At 1 a.m., my phone started buzzing. Claire. Ignored. Then a barrage of texts. Matt, please stop this. Please take the video down. We can talk about this. I love you, please. I chuckled. Love me? Last week, she was loving Daniel. Next came the guilt trip. You're ruining my life. Please don't do this to me. I made a mistake, it wasn't serious. Ah, the classics. At 2 a.m., Rachel called. I answered that one. Matt, she said, voice raw. Is it true? What you saw is what happened. Silence. Then a sob. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I believe you, I said simply. I threw him out, she whispered. I want a copy of everything. You'll have it in the morning. And she would. I had no interest in protecting Daniel. I spent the rest of the night watching the digital wreckage pile up. By dawn, the video had 500 views. My inbox was filling with shocked replies. I'm so sorry, Matt. Unbelievable. Stay strong. She was always fake. I went to bed around 6 a.m., finally smiling. Phase 1, complete. Now, most people would stop there. But I'm not most people. See, one thing Claire didn't know? While digging through the Alexa archives, I'd also found something else. A trail that led me to a second betrayal. Not hers. Daniel's. Turns out, Daniel wasn't just cheating with Claire. Oh no, he'd been running a full side hustle. Multiple women. One of them? His boss's wife. Corporate affairs have a funny way of blowing up. I found this out because I'm thorough. After seeing Daniel's face on the footage, I got curious. Pulled more logs. More camera clips. Cross-referenced them with dates. Claire was supposedly at yoga, but Daniel wasn't logged at the house. Patterns emerged. Daniel was a busy boy. I did a little more digging. Harmless, legal stuff. Public social media posts. Venmo transactions, people are idiots. A few slipped texts on Claire's phone she hadn't deleted. And there it was. A message from a woman named Lisa. Last night was amazing. Can't wait to do it again. Hope the boss doesn't find out. Lisa, I soon discovered, was married to Daniel's boss, owner of the real estate firm Daniel worked at. Well. So while Claire was busy wrecking our marriage, Daniel was wrecking his entire life. I packaged everything neatly. Screenshots, timestamps, corroborating info. Then I sent an anonymous email to the boss. Subject: you should know what your employee does after hours. No signature. I almost felt bad. Almost. Meanwhile, Claire kept trying. By day 2 post-party, she was in full meltdown mode. She showed up at my hotel. Front desk called me. Sir, there's a woman here saying she's your wife. She's upset. I sighed. Tell her I'm not available. I watched on the lobby cam feed as she argued, cried, finally left. More texts followed. I'm so sorry, Matt, I didn't mean for this to happen. Please let's meet just to talk. I'll do anything, please. I ignored them all. The next night, I got confirmation. Daniel had been fired. His boss, understandably pissed, didn't take kindly to the whole situation. Apparently, Lisa confessed everything under pressure. Daniel's life was now officially in flames. Rachel, bless her, sent me an update. He's staying at a friend's. I filed for divorce today. Thank you for showing me. One clean slate, coming up. By day 4, Claire's tone changed. The desperate apologies turned to bitter accusations. You've ruined my life. How could you do this to me? You're a monster. Projection: thy name is Claire. I let her vent. Silence is its own reply. But there was still one piece left to play. See, the private YouTube link was nice, but temporary. People forget. Life moves on. I wanted a more permanent scar. So I did what any systems guy would do. I created a new video. Short. Simple. Just the key voice clips and a title card. The truth about Claire, last name. Then I burned it onto USB drives. Dozens of them. Each labeled plainly. For your consideration. Then I mailed them. To Claire's family. Her close friends. Her yoga studio. Her book club. Her boss. Not posted online. Not illegal. Just good old-fashioned information sharing. Claire couldn't claim hacking. Couldn't claim slander. It was her voice, her actions. By the end of the week, she was radioactive. Rachel told me Claire was practically hiding in her house, fielding angry calls from every direction. Meanwhile, I moved forward. Lawyered up. Filed for divorce. Ironclad prenup. Claire gets nothing. House. Mine. Bank accounts. Locked down. Social reputation. Already shredded. And me? I was sleeping like a baby. But the best part? The final twist was still coming. Because Claire thought Daniel was the full betrayal. She had no idea about the other voice I'd found on those Alexa logs. A voice she definitely didn't want anyone to hear. Here's the thing about digging into smart home data. Once you start pulling the thread, you never know how far it'll unravel. When I first found the Alexa voice logs, I was looking for one thing: confirmation of Claire's affair with Daniel. That was easy. Too easy, in fact. But the data didn't stop there. See, Claire had gotten comfortable. Cocky. The same way cheaters always do. They think they're clever because they delete text messages, clear browser history, maybe use a burner app. What they forget is that when you live in a smart home, the house itself becomes your tattletale. Every light change, every thermostat tweak, every voice command, all time-stamped, all archived. And while prepping my little anniversary video masterpiece, I found a pattern. Late-night commands. 11 p.m., midnight, even 2 a.m. sometimes, on nights when I was home. When Claire was supposedly in bed. Alexa, play sensual jazz playlist. Alexa, set bedroom lights to warm glow. Alexa, volume to 6. At first, I thought, okay, maybe she was trying to spice things up when I was asleep. Not likely, but I gave it a moment's benefit of the doubt. Until I checked the smart lock logs. And there it was. Front door unlocked. Same cleaning guest code used. But not by Daniel this time. His pattern was afternoon. This was nighttime. Different days. And when I cross-referenced it with the voice clips, a different male voice popped up. Older. Deeper. I nearly choked when I realized who it was. Claire's boss. Robert Whitaker. CEO of the mid-sized marketing firm where Claire worked. 55. Married. 2 kids. Big family man image. And apparently, very cozy with my wife. First, I verified. I wasn't about to jump to conclusions based on a single voice clip. I pulled security cam footage. There it was. 11:32 p.m. Claire letting Robert in through the front door, wearing one of her silk robes, not exactly casual work attire. More clips followed. Him leaving around 3 a.m., looking disheveled. I played the voice logs again. You sure he's asleep? Robert whispered. Yeah, Claire said, laughing softly. He never hears a thing. I sat there for a moment, feeling nothing. Just processing. Claire wasn't just cheating on me. She wasn't just cheating with her best friend's husband. She was sleeping with her boss, in my house, under my roof, while I slept 10 feet away. The level of disrespect was staggering. Impressive, almost. But it didn't make me mad. No, it made me meticulous. Because now I had leverage. I compiled the evidence. Carefully. Methodically. Voice clips, check. Smart lock logs, check. Camera footage, check. Cross-reference with Claire's calendar entries. The ones where she claimed to be working late or prepping presentations at home. Check. I built a second video. This one wasn't for YouTube. It wasn't for Claire's family. It was for Robert's wife. I knew her, vaguely, Sandra. We'd been to a couple of company parties together. Classy woman. PDA member. The type who'd absolutely love to know where her husband had been spending his late nights. I drafted a simple email. Sandra, I'm sorry to be the one to show you this, but you deserve to know the truth. I attached the video file. No signature. Then I waited. 3 days later, it hit. Rachel texted me first. Matt? Holy SHD. Did you see what's happening? Asterisk. I checked. My inbox was lighting up. Apparently, Robert's wife had gone nuclear. She'd confronted him with the footage. He denied it first, then broke down. And Sandra? Sandra was done. She didn't just file for divorce. She also sent the video, anonymously, to Robert's entire board of directors. By that afternoon, Robert was taking a leave of absence to address personal matters. Translation: toast. Claire, meanwhile, was spiraling. She'd finally stopped texting me. Now the messages came through mutual friends. Matt, Claire's a wreck. She says you're ruining her life. She's afraid she's going to lose her job. Good. Let her sweat. But I wasn't quite finished. See, in all her arrogance, Claire had overlooked one critical thing. The company she worked for used Office 365 Enterprise, corporate accounts, synced calendars, and, surprise, I'd helped set up her home workstation years ago, which meant she'd never changed the permissions on her sync folders. Her work calendar was still accessible through our shared network drive. And that calendar? It told an even uglier story. Block time labeled Project Prep that aligned perfectly with Robert's visits. Recurring off-site meetings on Friday afternoons when I was traveling, days that also matched late-night smart lock activity. I archived the whole thing. Then I packaged it neatly. This time, I sent it to HR at Claire's firm. No signature, no accusations, just the calendar file and a note. You may want to review employee conduct regarding conflict of interest and inappropriate use of company time. Boom. Within 48 hours, Claire was called into an urgent meeting. Within a week, she was suspended pending investigation. By week 2, she was fired. Meanwhile, Robert's forced leave had become permanent. Their entire affair had detonated both their careers. And me? I was just getting started. Because there was still one more move to make. The final act of this little digital opera. You see, all of this was for exposure, for accountability, but the personal revenge? That needed to be delivered directly, and very, very publicly. You ever hear the phrase, death by 1,000 cuts? That was the phase Claire had entered, and I wasn't even swinging the knife anymore. I was just letting the ones I'd already made bleed out. When she lost her job, it hit the news. Not the front page, not that big, but in the industry rags, the ones her professional circle actually read. CEO steps down amid scandal. Marketing director also dismissed. They didn't name names, but everyone in her network connected the dots. By the end of that week, Claire's LinkedIn profile was a ghost town. She locked it down, switched to private, wiped the photo. PR damage control, too little too late. Mutual friends started whispering. Claire's in hiding. She's blaming everyone but herself. She says you hacked her. Of course she did. Meanwhile, the legal side of things was progressing beautifully. My lawyer was loving life. The prenup was bulletproof, and the proof of infidelity clause? Practically gift-wrapped. Claire wouldn't see a dime from me. Not the house. Not the accounts. Not the cars. Not a single cent beyond what was required by law. Which, thanks to my airtight documentation, was minimal. And her family? They weren't exactly rushing to her defense. Her mother called me. First time since the party. Matt, she said, voice weary. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything, I replied calmly. She made mistakes, yes, but no, not mistakes. Choices. A long silence. Well, she finally said, just don't destroy her. I didn't answer that. Because in truth, I didn't need to. Claire was doing that part just fine on her own. But still, I wasn't done. Because there was one final opportunity on the horizon. One perfect, poetic moment left to land the blow. Our neighborhood charity gala. Annual thing. Big event. Everyone went. Claire had been on the planning committee. Hell, she'd practically chaired it for years. It was her pet project, her chance to play Queen Bee. And it was 2 weeks away. Now, in the normal run of things, after a scandal like this, most people would quietly bow out. Skip the gala. Stay home. But Claire? She was Claire. I caught wind through mutual friends. She still planned to attend. Gotta show face, she told someone. Prove I'm not ashamed. I almost admired the delusion. And so, the final plan took shape. It started with an invitation. I RSVP'd yes. No +1, didn't need one. Just me. Then I booked time with the gala's AV team. See, I was a longtime sponsor. Donated every year. Helped run the silent auction. Had relationships. A small favor was no problem. Hey, I told the AV guy, I've got a short tribute video. Community spirit. Can we slot it between the dinner and the auction? Of course, he said. Send it over. And I did. A perfectly respectable intro. Neighborhood shots. Smiling faces. Quick clips from past galas. And then, seamlessly, the pivot. The Alexa voice commands. Alexa, play romantic dinner playlist. Set bedroom lights to warm glow. Guest lock code entries. Security cam footage, tastefully blurred but unmistakable. Claire. Daniel. Claire. Robert. And then, a simple black screen. Community is built on trust. Thank you for supporting tonight's gala. It was only 2 minutes long. Just enough. I timed it to play right as dessert was served. The night of the gala, I showed up early. Polite, calm, unassuming. Claire was there too. Dressed to kill. Red gown. Hair perfect. Smile fixed. A mask held together with pure willpower. We crossed paths briefly. She looked me in the eye. Matt, she said, voice cold. You're sick. I smiled slightly. Enjoy the show. She paled. The night unfolded. Cocktails. Small talk. Dinner. Speeches. Then, lights dimmed. Video cued. It started innocently. Claire relaxed slightly. Then the voice clips began. Her head snapped up. Alexa, play romantic dinner playlist. Gasps. Chairs shifted. Footage rolled. Whispers erupted. Claire shot to her feet. Turn it off, she shouted. Stop it. But the AV team wasn't prepared. They didn't know. They thought it was intentional. The video played through. 2 minutes that felt like an eternity. When the lights came back up, the room was electric. Claire stood frozen. Face white. Breathing hard. Around her, silence. Then, polite distance. People began moving away. Conversations shifted. She was radioactive. I watched from my table. Calm. Detached. The final cut. Claire fled the gala 5 minutes later. And me? I stayed. Finished my drink. Watched the ripples spread. By the next morning, the entire neighborhood knew. Claire wasn't just disgraced, she was finished socially. Rachel texted me again. You really are something else. Thanks, I replied. Just cleaning house. And with that, the campaign was complete. Claire's job, gone. Professional reputation, destroyed. Social standing, annihilated. The marriage? Signed, sealed, delivered. And me? I moved forward. New place. New life. New peace. But the Alexa system? I left it behind. Wiped clean. Sold with the house. One last message programmed for the new owner. Alexa, remind me. Trust is earned. I smiled as I walked out the door. But here's the thing. Even after all that, even after the public collapse, Claire still tried one last move. One desperate, grasping attempt to claw something back. You'd think by now Claire would have gotten the message. But when someone's drowning, they'll grab any rope, even if it's one you're holding just to watch them sink faster. In the days after the gala, I kept my distance. Didn't post. Didn't gloat. Didn't respond to the flurry of texts and calls from people who'd been there. The less I said, the more the story grew on its own. Claire was done. Her professional reputation obliterated. Her social life nuked. Robert, quietly divorced, out of the company. Daniel, unemployed and mid-divorce. I was already moving on. New apartment. Simple, clean, smart home disabled. No more digital ghosts. But then, Claire tried one last move. It started as a whisper. Mutual friends texted me. Claire's telling people you hacked her. She's saying the video was fake. Now she's threatening legal action. I almost laughed. Threatening legal action? With what? Her voice, her actions, her guest lock codes, her commands. But it got better. She wasn't just floating this in private circles. She was preparing to go public. An open letter, the classic desperate play. I got wind of it when an old college buddy of hers forwarded me a screenshot of the draft. Claire had sent it to a few people, trying to get support. It was a masterpiece of self-pity. A malicious ex-husband hacked my devices and used AI to fabricate a false narrative, destroying my life. I was the victim of emotional abuse, and this was his final act of control. Projection level, expert. But here's where she made her fatal mistake. In the draft, she mentioned specific tech, proof she planned to cite, that the Alexa logs were forged. That triggered something in me. Because I had receipts, literal ones. See, I hadn't just downloaded the voice logs. I had the Amazon cloud receipts. The full chain of custody metadata, timestamps, IP logs, audio fingerprints. Legally valid. And more importantly, Amazon had a standing process for verifying authenticity of such logs in legal disputes. So I did what any systems guy would do. I reached out to my lawyer. Claire's threatening public defamation. I said, here's the evidence stack. I want a cease and desist ready. And I want her lawyer on notice. We drafted the letter. Attached the full verification chain. Made it clear. The video was authentic. The data was authentic. Any public claim to the contrary would result in immediate legal action. Then we sent it to Claire's lawyer. And, quietly, we sent a copy of the letter to the same inner circle Claire was trying to rally with her draft. The effect was immediate. The draft, open letter vanished. Mutual friends who'd been on the fence? Suddenly very quiet. Claire's lawyer responded within 24 hours. My client has agreed not to pursue public statements at this time. Translation, they saw the trap. But Claire wasn't done grasping. Next, she tried the personal angle. Out of nowhere, she texted me. Matt, can we please talk? I know you probably hate me, but I need closure. Closure. A word cheaters cling to like a life raft. I ignored the first text. Then came more. Please. Just coffee. One conversation. I'll sign whatever you want. You've destroyed me already. I'm just asking for 5 minutes. I debated. Not because I wanted to give her peace. Hell no. But because I was curious. Curious what a person looks like when they've burned every bridge and finally realized they're standing on ashes. So I agreed. One public location. Daylight. Witnesses. We met at a small coffee shop. Neutral ground. I arrived early, sat in the corner where I could see the door. When Claire walked in, I almost didn't recognize her. Gone was the polished, perfect queen bee. Hair pulled back in a loose knot. No makeup. Eyes red. Shoulders hunched. She spotted me. Approached slowly, as if walking to her own execution. Matt, she said, voice small. Thank you for coming. I said nothing. Just watched her. She sat down. For a moment, we just stared at each other. The weight of everything hanging between us. Then she started. I know I can't undo what I did, she said. I know I've lost everything. I was stupid. Selfish. I raised an eyebrow. No argument there. I'm not asking you to forgive me, she continued. I need to understand why you did it this way. I leaned back. You want to know why? I said quietly. She nodded. I sipped my coffee. Because for 2 years, I said, voice flat. You sat across from me every night, smiled, and lied. Lied to my face. Lied to our friends. Lied to your family. Lied in my bed. She flinched. You used the tools I built to help us, I continued. Used our home. Our system. Our trust. Her lip trembled. And you thought I'd just confront you privately? Maybe cry? Maybe beg? I leaned forward. No. You deserve to be exposed. Every layer of the lie, peeled back for all to see. She swallowed hard. I didn't know you could be this cold. I smiled slightly. Neither did I. You brought it out. She looked down. Silent. Finally, she whispered. I lost everything. I nodded. Actions have consequences. Another pause. Then, the desperation. Matt, I can't get hired anywhere. Everyone knows. Please, can you at least tell them you exaggerated? Just so I can work again. I stared at her. No, I said simply. Her eyes filled with tears. Please, she whispered. I can't live like this. I stood. You'll live, I said. Just not as the person you were. I dropped the $10 on the table. Goodbye, Claire. And I walked out. Didn't look back. That was the last time I saw her in person. But even then, the final knife had yet to twist. Because unknown to Claire, during that meeting, I'd recorded everything, legal in my state. And that recording, I'd already handed it to my lawyer. Insurance, in case she ever tried to spin the narrative again. By the time the divorce finalized, Claire was a shell of who she'd been. Her professional circles? Burned. Her social life? Non-existent. Her family? Distant. And me? I was free, clear, unburdened. But there was one last gift I left behind. A subtle, permanent reminder. Some people think the perfect revenge is the moment they hit send. The email, the video, the big reveal. They're wrong. The perfect revenge is knowing it never stops. That the person who wronged you can't scrub the stain. That they will wake up in the middle of the night months later, heart pounding, replaying the moment the ground fell out beneath them. I designed my revenge with that in mind. Claire's public life? Gone. Her job? Gone. Her social standing? Incinerated. Her friends? Scattered to the wind. Even her own family was keeping her at arm's length. She was down to ashes. But I wanted one final move. Something small, subtle, permanent. Something that would stay with her, a pebble in her shoe she'd never shake. Here's how it played out. After that last coffee shop meeting, the pitiful plea, the crocodile tears, I walked away. Told myself I was done. But a week later, I got a call from an old friend in IT security. A guy I used to work with, who now consulted for a major background screening firm. You won't believe this, he said. Try me. Guess who just applied for a senior marketing position at one of our client companies? I already knew. Claire. Bingo, he said. And guess what showed up in the open web search pass? He sent me a screenshot. There it was, a cached version of the original YouTube video link. The private link I distributed had been shared enough that at least one copy had made it into an index snapshot. The video itself was taken down, per YouTube's automatic privacy policies, but the index title and preview still existed. More importantly, the Alexa voice logs had been referenced in multiple local forum threads, archived for posterity. Claire's name was permanently linked. Now, the background firm wasn't going to reject her based on this alone, but it would raise a red flag. My friend asked, "Want me to flag it higher up?" I thought for a moment. "No," I said. "Don't touch it." He was confused. "Why not?" "Because I want her to see the doors close. I want her to wonder, every time she applies somewhere, if this is why." He laughed. Brutal. Not brutal. Surgical. But that gave me an idea. See, Claire wasn't tech savvy. She'd never understand how search indexing worked, how metadata spreads. But she did have Google Alerts set up on her own name. She used to brag about it. So I did a little SEO magic. Quietly, I created a small blog, generic domain, innocuous. Posted a simple, factual post about the gala. No slander, no exaggeration, just publicly verifiable details. The timeline of events. The involvement of her now ex-boss Robert. The gala video summary. Links to already public references. No commentary. No editorializing. Just fact. Then I optimized it. Tagged her full name. Indexed it cleanly. A permanent, legal, factual marker. Next step? I let it marinate. About a week later, right on schedule, Claire's name triggered her Google alert. She saw the post. How do I know? Because she called me. The first time in weeks. The voicemail came through shaky, panicked. "Matt, I saw the blog. Please, can you take it down? Please. I can't get a job anywhere. They all Google me. I just want to move on." I didn't respond. She texted next. "Please. You've won. You destroyed me. Just let me have this one thing." There it was. The final stage, bargaining. I waited 2 days. Then I sent one message. Actions have consequences. Some of them permanent. That was it. She didn't reply. A week later, mutual friends told me Claire had deleted most of her remaining online profiles. Instagram gone. Facebook wiped. LinkedIn shut down. She was trying to vanish. But in today's world, you can't vanish from your own actions. The next few months passed quietly. The divorce finalized. I kept the house. Sold it. Moved into a new place. Fresh space. No ghosts. Claire? Last I heard, she moved 2 states away. Changed her last name back. Trying to start over. But every employer Googles. Every HR team screens. Every search pulls up that little blog. That forum thread. That gala whisper. Permanent. And me? I'm fine. Better than fine. You don't come out of something like this angry. You come out clean. Focused. I learned that revenge isn't about fire. It's about ice. You freeze the moment in time. You leave it there, crystal clear, for the world to see. Claire will live her life knowing that anyone she meets, anyone she works with, dates, befriends, might have seen it. Might know. She'll never know who does and who doesn't. That's the perfect revenge. So to anyone out there thinking they can cheat, lie, and get away clean, just remember, your smart home remembers. Your cloud remembers. The internet remembers. And some of us know exactly how to make sure it never forgets. Good night, Claire. And Alexa, play Karma's greatest hits. Subscribe to the channel